The duration of a flight from Bangladesh to London Heathrow is around 15 hours with one stop. Tonight, a plane is arriving that's taken 19 hours and had to make 2 stops, because sadly a passenger died en route. Officers Terry and Dave are getting the details from passenger experience managers Kohler and Newman, who've been in contact with the plane.
Aircraft had a medical emergency and got diverted to Baku. 45 minutes into that, there was a death on board.
And the aircraft was on the ground at this time?
It was on the ground at the time. However, since then, the body has come off the aircraft, but then moved into the hold of the aircraft. So there's no death certificate, there's no paperwork to go with it.
Is that definite?
Yes.
Okay.
When the passenger died in Baku, Azerbaijan, death was pronounced by local doctors, but no death certificate was issued. The body was placed in the hold and the journey continued.
This is an unprecedented event, a death on board, which is generally a straightforward procedure, but this is racking my brain. I've got a bit of a headache, so we're going to have to unravel this mess that's been caused.
With no cause of death documented, the plane arriving into Heathrow is about to become a crime scene.
It may be that we have to keep all the passengers on board the aircraft and all the cargo and luggage in the cargo hold until we know what's gone on and spoke to some key individuals on board the aircraft. Then no one's going nowhere.
A plane from Bangladesh is landing into Heathrow, and one of the passengers on board has died. Police officers Terry and Dave are on the way to the gate to get to the bottom of an unprecedented Heathrow event.
You wouldn't just put something in a hole without having a manifest, like say you've got one deceased body.
A dead body arriving with no death certificate.
The body should have stayed in the country where the person passed away, unfortunately. It seems like certain systems have been circumvented and the body's been placed in a cargo hold. I mean, there's no way of making that more glamorous than what it is.
The plane is 5 hours late in arriving, but because of the medical emergency, all 435 passengers have to remain on board until Dave and Terry can establish there's nothing suspicious about the death. So temperatures are rising.
18 hours we've been on this
I understand
plane,
that.
so
I understand that.
people are feeling sick.
I understand that, but we have to treat this as a crime scene until we can prove that nothing's untoward, right? Someone's family,
because I've got a sick mother there.
Not being funny with you, mate. Yeah. I want this done as quickly as possible because we've got the family here. Yeah. All right, we're not going to slow this up.
But take a look yourself how much people are feeling sick.
I understand that.
The longer we feel care about it, the slower it's going to be. I can totally relate with the individuals. Like, I'll be stuck in a runway for 20 minutes and I'll start getting annoyed. As soon as an aircraft lands, people start opening their seatbelts to ready to jump off to go. And that 1 or 2 minutes delay on the aircraft docking and the jetty bridge attaching to the aircraft, that could feel forever. It's going to get them really frustrated, especially if they've already been there for 19 hours.
Fortunately, one of the passengers on board is a doctor who took a key role in the incident.
The flight crew issued a call for a doctor, so I offered my services. The lady was 75, and the history was that she'd actually been unwell with a pneumonia in a local hospital in Sylhet. The family thought she was getting better, so it was her wish, because she's a British citizen, to come back to the UK.
Whilst Terry gets as many details as possible from the doctor.
You haven't pronounced life extinct though, have you, yourself?
I've written a note to that effect.
Dave talks to the family.
So I'm sorry for your loss. Heathrow and the police haven't dealt with this sort of situation before. So it may take a little bit longer, but rest assured we will get this done as quickly as possible because we need to make sure that nothing untoward has happened.
In these difficult situations, Heathrow has a group of chaplains to help distressed passengers. John is one of 8 at the airport.
In an emergency like this, we're there to provide some comfort and to help sometimes to explain the process that they're going through because they're usually in a state of shock, they're very upset, and they've been given an awful lot of information by different people. And often it's just a case of holding somebody's hand while they cry.
Terry and Dave are now happy to allow passengers to disembark, but their luggage in the hold will have to stay on board whilst they confirm the identity of the body and make sure nothing untoward has occurred.
We need to go down and see the body and the box. Yeah. Hello, we're coming now, Sarge.
Out on the apron, officers Terry and Dave are with the doctor from the arriving Bangladeshi flight.
Yeah, there you go. They're just over in this air ambulance.
Because there's no death certificate, they have to identify the passenger who died en route to the UK.
Do you want the doctor to come on board with us? Because then he can verify that the lady is the same person that he's pronounced life extinct, yeah? And that gives us some continuity. And we'll give a cursory check over as what we would usually do. And then so long as what the lady's been transported in is fine, then that plane route's good to go. All right?
That's the same lady, yeah? Same clothing and everything?
Yeah. Okay. The doctor's with us. He's verified that the lady he's seeing now is the same one he saw that he pronounced as life extinct. In terms of the airline, everything's good to go. The baggage can come off, cargo can come off. There's no cross-contamination issues. So, all right, cheers, boss. Bye-bye. Bye. Cola, the aircraft's fine. You can do what you want with it.
With suspicious circumstances ruled out, the passengers can finally head home with their luggage.
In total, we spent like about 24 hours easily just on a plane. When we got off, I mean, that was just like, it was a big relief. For that brother and a sister, they lost their mother, really sad.
There's a little bit of shell shock because at the end of the day there was a lady who died and the family were distraught, and that was difficult, and my thoughts go out to them because their grief was very apparent.
All the paperwork is now in place, so the body can be released and make its way back to the family.
You never forget the sudden deaths that you deal with. Each one has its own unique way of being remembered, and obviously as this one was a really unusual situation, so you'll probably never forget that one.